Hello, and welcome to Tutorial 11. For all the people that have been watching my tutorials and following along as I've been creating them, I'd like to apologize. I know it's been a long time since I've had a tutorial out, but the reason is that I've been extremely ill. I've had to go back to the hospital twice. I've had a very severe respiratory infection, and it's still with me, but it's getting better. They weren't quite sure whether it was pneumonia or severe bronchitis or even tuberculosis, but it's getting a little better. I'm on some antibiotics, but it's been in me so long now, over a month. It's taken root, and I'm having to take it easy. Also, as you know from my previous tutorials, my computer got water in it, and it's a notebook, and my mouse quit, so I had to get a new one. And I really don't like the new mouse that I've got. It's too difficult to press the buttons, but today I'm going to go and exchange it. So, as you can see here, I've changed the format of Blender a little bit. Now, I'm no longer working with the blueprints. They're still there. As you can see in the orthographic view, if I go to top, you can still see the blueprints. But the blueprints on this thing are really crap, as are a lot of blueprints. And with any modeling job, you're eventually going to be working from photographs. That's just the way it works. Now, as you can see here, I've added a light and a camera. For the rendering, you're going to need this. There's two kinds of rendering in Blender. This render here, which is just, wow, what you see is what you get, right here in the window, same thing. The other render is the F12 render, which of course you can't see anything because I haven't added anything to it. We're going to go to object mode, and still nothing because we haven't really added any texture to it. But the camera here, if you want to add lights and cameras, if they're not already there, just go here, hit spacebar, add camera and lamp. And when you look online and you see cars that have been created that look exactly like the real thing, there's a lot of lighting and rendering that's going on there to make that car look like it does. Very real. And to be honest with you, I'm not the greatest lighting and rendering person out there. There's other tutorials and you need to watch them. I'm gonna hopefully learn a little bit of that myself as I'm going. I'm primarily a modeling person, but as you can see down here, I've split this and I've added the image editor, which is a lot of times when, like in these windows here, let's see, add header, the header information and things don't show back up when you split them. You just have to go up here at the border and right click and add the header, or put no header. Okay, anyway, down here just click on the image editor icon, which is UV image editor, and of course, let's see, I'll open up some Okay, I've opened a lot of these. You can open just about as many as you want, and you can cycle through them by clicking on this little double arrow right here. And when I'm working with photographs, I go down to two windows, and when just let your cursor hover over the photograph and hit shift spacebar, and it just maximizes it. Hit shift spacebar again and you're back. You can do it with any of these windows, so that's a useful tool. Now of course, most of the time when I'm working with these, I hide them so I don't see them. It's okay in this one though. I'm gonna unhide them so you can see them. So now to get to the node editor, okay, we go here. Now you don't see anything because the car is not selected. When we select the car and use nodes is on, now it's off. So what we want to do, if we go in here, add input material. Okay, we're going to make 3 of these. Add input material. Now as you can see, they're selected. That's because this was already selected. When this happens, just come up here, pull that off, and boom. I can deselect it by hitting A and then go in here, add input material. Okay? Now what I'm showing you here is the setup for nearly every paint job you'll have. As you can see, there's all kinds of, add, converter, math. Don't worry about that. So I maximize these windows up a little bit. Okay, 3 materials, remember this. Deselect, or actually select this first one here. Add input, color, mix. Now this mixer's connected to the first one because this was selected. I'm going to deselect and I'm going to add another mixer. Okay, this is, as I said, the basic setup for pretty much any paint job you're going to have. 3 materials, 2 mixers, and the first mixer is connected over here, but if it's not, you can connect it at any time just by dragging from one to the other. Okay. Now, the first thing I want you to do is to come up here and set these mixers down to add instead of mix. Alright. Now, I'm going to click Add New, and of course nothing happened, and I have to come down here and click Use Nodes. So now we pop up with our node editing. Okay, there's all kinds of buttons here, but I'm just going to show you the ones that are pertinent and relevant to the things we're doing. If you click on the color here, you can select any color you want, and it comes up, and as you can see, the car, let's go to edit mode. Now the car is showing the color in edit mode. Alright. We've been dealing with red quite a bit though, so we can go in and we can select any color that we want, and that's a real pretty color. But for this tutorial I would like to go with a yellow, so I'm going to go here, and let's say you have a car that's got a really unique color and you want the color. Well, trying to match it in the color ramp up here is interesting. But what we can do is hit sample and go down here and just select it, and there we go. We got the color. That's really cool. So now what we're going to do is come down here. We're going to set the reflectivity of this. We're going to leave, let's see, I'm going to set the reflectivity up to 1. Okay. We're going to come down here. We want to use Lambert. It's already on. And the reflectivity is at 1. Of course, you can set the reflectivity here or down here. This mimics it. We're going to go here to Cook Tour. It looks like Cook 2, and we're going to select Wardsley. Okay, that gives us a little bit of a shine. Now the specularity here is okay at 0.5, but the RMS we're going to set to 0.05. Okay. Now this is what we want. We're going to leave this right now. Now, this next one here is not going to do a whole lot, but if you want to put a metallic paint fleck job on this car, you're really going to need this, but we're not going to really fool with it right now. Click Add New. Okay. Now, on the specularity here, we're going to select a specular color, and I'm going to go with, since we're doing yellow, I'm going to go with a slight orange specularity like this. There we go. Okay, as you can see, it doesn't change this any. We're going to click off this differential here, and now you can kind of see a little orange hue there. Now we're going to go down here. We're going to leave the reflectivity at 0.8, and we're going to, instead of Cook Tour, we're going to select Blend. Okay, and the hardness we're going to take down to 20. Oops. And the reflectivity we're going to set to, I think, let's see, 2. Nope, hold on. 8. There we go. Okay. So we're pretty much done with this right now. Now the third one here, the specularity in the color, we're just going to set to standard white. Now we have to add new too. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to come up here and just select this and white. Okay. Now, I'll turn off the differential here. This one here is going to provide the fall off color, I think they call it. We're going to set the reflectivity all the way up to 1. We're going to set the specularity to 2, hardness to 20, and down here at emit we're going to come up to 4. Okay. Now, here's where we're going to connect everything. Oh wait. Now, I'll just go through and show you here. Look, let's take a look at our car first of all. We haven't applied anything yet. We're seeing it just in grayscale mode because that's what we've got here. But you can see the highlights. So that was by hitting F12, by the way. We don't have any color because we haven't applied anything yet. Now if we go here and click this and hit F12, we can see that the paint job's on there, but it's lacking a little of the highlight information and the fall off. So so we're going to go here to this second one, and I'm going to show you just how to put a basic metallic fleck texture on here, but we're not going to do that with this car because this has kind of a gumball candy type paint job, candy apple yellow or something. But if you want to do this, you're going to hit your F keys. I'm not really sure the F key you hit because it cycles through on different ones. Not really sure how that works, but I just keep punching until it happens. You're going to hit add new texture and go down here, texture type nodes. The one for the paint fleck is the Veroni, and over here you're just going to set the size down to 0, color 1, and let's see, I think that's it. Okay, and this is just cycling through it. Okay, now you can see that the texture is applied to it, but map to, we're going to select CSP, and as you can see our texture's on there. But we're not going to, like as I said, use the metallic paint texture, so we're going to cycle. I'm just showing you how to do it because see here you can see that the texture's on there. I'm just going to cycle back, and I'm going to select no texture, and of course this is changed over here. And now we're back. Okay, this is the important part here. We're going to connect everything. So go over here to the color outlet and just drag this up here and attach it to the first one. Same thing with this. Attach it to that one. Now we're going to take this one and we're going to attach it to this one. Okay, select this, click add output, and here we go. This is showing us what we're dealing with. It doesn't look a whole lot different than this one, but there is a lot. There are some differences, as you can see, the shading and stuff. Okay. Now we're going to hit F12 and our final paint job. A little bit different, a little bit glossier. As I said, looks kind of plasticky, but that's because we haven't tweaked the lighting just right. The soft hues and subtle shades and things. It's ready to go as far as the paint goes. Play around with these things. See what you can do with them. Like I said, this is the basic paint setup. Don't get flustered if Blender does something that you really don't like, because that's kind of normal. Let's see here. Bring the emitter up a little bit there. Let's see what we can do with that. Not much. But anyway, that's how you play with it. Okay, now I'd like to go back here, and as you can see now we're in object mode, or edit mode, and this, let's maximize this window. Okay. When you've got the subsurf applied like I do, of course you're seeing circles where, of course, in the render there's squares and sharp edges and things. This is how it's going to be finally. As you can see, we're in solid mode, and there's a lot of these ghost areas like this. Let me show you how to tweak your model. By looking at this, I'm going to just select GX and I'm going to pull that and see what's happening to it. The areas are kind of like puddling or depuddling, like kind of water. Okay. When you get those to where there's no puddles, that's where it is really where you kind of want it. Now you can't get rid of all of it because due to your geometry, but as you can see, sharpens it up a lot. And if you go around and do that to the entire car, I've done it to most of it. There's some areas here that I've still got left to and also I've made some changes on it. I went back and deleted some stuff, and I was having some geometry problems, and here we are though. And this is, I'm gonna go around and put a spoiler or a side rocker excuse me, rocker flare here. I'm forgetting my car terminology. I'm gonna put a side rocker flare on this, and I just filled in the back for aesthetic purposes. That's not how it's gonna look. I just did a quick sweep job. And anyway, like I said, I'm working on the front clip. In tutorials in future tutorials, I'm gonna delve more deeply into the topics of how to make the car look very realistic. Like I said, some of the lighting and rendering I'm going to have to go and learn, because I haven't really delved into that. I've just basically, I can do lighting and rendering in other programs, but not Blender. Anyway, I know how it's done. I just don't know the specifics of the menus and things within Blender. So I'm going to stop this tutorial now and let you play with it. Kind of in a change of pace for us, but there's still a lot of work left to be done on the car. What I want to bring out is that, as I said, have maybe said before, modeling is a multi-stage process. It's like taking a big block of wood and chopping it with a chisel and shaping it to where you get that sculpture that you want, and it's many different layers and processes. The reason that every Tom, Dick, and Harry has not got a beautiful 3D game ready car out there is because it's a lot of work. And actually, to get to this point here takes me about 40 to 45 minutes when I'm modeling on my own. And sometimes I get anal, and I will, instead of selecting a large block of polygons or points, I'll go in and manually click them. But my brain goes into a real anal mode when I'm making these tutorials, because I'm multitasking. I'm having to remember what I think the tutorial watcher needs to pick up, and so when I'm in fly mode, it's much different. So bear with me. I'm going to try to get the next tutorial out within the next few days. I'm on vacation and recuperating, so wish me well that I get well. And I'm going to go work on the Maserati tutorials in Hexagon. If you don't have Hexagon, see if you can pick up a trial copy or something and play around with it. It's kind of fun too. I'm going to be starting, once I get about 3/4 of the way through this tutorial, I'm going to be starting a True Space tutorial, and That's going to be kind of fun. Going to be modeling a Fiat X1 Knight in that one. So, I'm going to sign off. Have fun and keep on chugging. Bye-bye.